I'm John Maffio, aka MaffmanJones. Welcome to a special kind of review. I usually review movies, but every once in a while I'll review or discuss something that doesn't involve movies. Sometimes television or video games, in this case television, and in this case Netflix and chill. And by Netflix and chill, I mean this is the coolest show that I've seen in a long time. It's Stranger Things. This show stars Winona Ryder, hey, making a comeback, David Harbour, who's a guy who's been popping up in a lot of things lately, along with a very talented cast, a very talented young cast. The story, to keep things non-spoiler and very concise, after a long fun night of Dungeons and Dragons between a bunch of 10 or 11-year-old friends, one of them goes missing for unknown reasons. So everybody in town, including the mother of said missing child, Winona Ryder, tries to find out what happened to him. And then coincidentally, the kids who are still around and not missing stumble upon a young girl who may or may not have mystical mutant powers for some odd reason. And that's where the mystery starts to blossom. There are so many homages, there are so many references, there are so many things that are partial to the 80s. You can't really get into it completely, but you could see so many influences from so many different movies and projects that came out around that time period. And, I mean, I wasn't around in the 80s. I was born in the 90s. I'm not going to get too specific on that. But if you are a fan of the 80s time period, and you like the movies from that time period, which a lot of, in my opinion, some of the greatest movies of all time came out during that time period. Indiana Jones, Empire Strikes Back, Back to the Future, to say the least. The Thing. This show has it all. If Steven Spielberg, Stephen King, John Carpenter all went gay for each other and made like a threesome love child, this would probably be that show. It takes all the best aspects of those creators of visual content and throws them onto the screen from all aspects. This show is brilliant. Is it a big homage? Yes. But it also does things on its own. It creates its own mythos. It creates its own space. It has characters that are well realized and fleshed out. And some characters you don't like at first, you tend to like afterwards. There are characters that you will find very memorable. Most characters in this show are actually very, very memorable. They all have their own distinct personalities. They all have something to bring to the table, whether it's a small thing or a big thing, a big contributor to the actual story. A lot of characters grow big. Some start in one place, they end in another. The overall arcing story of the show is very satisfying. The mystery that unravels over the course of the show takes really interesting turns, really scary turns. The show is very spooky. Those who are faint of heart, it's not like, whoo, jump out scary, but like the visual poetry going on here. I call it poetry because the show just looks amazing and it just rhymes. That was a weird George Lucas connection I made there I didn't mean to make. It has the lightheartedness of the Goonies, but then like the most terrifying aspects of John Carpenter's Halloween. The show seems very highly influenced from video games like the Silent Hill games. Why? I'm not going to tell you, you have to watch the show. But it's really cool how they implemented a lot of modern day things into a show like this, which is very heavily influenced from the 1980s. But yeah, Silent Hill is a very big influence, as it seems, in this show. I'm not going to get into the performances too much, but let's just say that they really, really work. All of the child actors are fantastic. The chemistry between the main leads is something else. You would totally believe they're real friends in real life. Winona Ryder is a little over the top with her performance, but I think she's great, and she really carried emotional weight with her performance. David Harbour, who plays the sheriff of the town in this show, I really grew to love, and I like that actor a lot. He's been in a lot of things lately, as I mentioned before, but he does a really good job of playing that character who's not afraid to get dirty. One more character I'll mention here is the one who's played by Matthew Modine. He pretty much reminded me of the villain character from Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. You know, the guy with the white hair who was trying to get everybody to wear those Halloween masks and make them blow up, basically, with, like, insects and snakes and shit. Totally creepy. Please, if you have Netflix, when you get the chance, watch Stranger Things. It's one of the better, more well-rounded pieces of content on Netflix and on TV anywhere today. It's only 8 episodes. It got renewed for a second season already. But even if you don't watch the second season, it's a nice self-contained season. Great characters, Great story, incredible influences from the best aspects of all 1980s movies, and the music is out of this world. The title sequence is like one of the coolest things I've seen for a TV show ever. And when we have TV shows like Game of Thrones that are just knocking out of the park with like intros, this show has a very simplified intro, but it's genius. If I had to give this TV show a rating, it would be Malfadocious. It's 5 out of 5. I don't really see any flaws with the show. It was a very nice, self-contained season. And it's like, there's no flaws in the story, in my opinion. It flowed very nicely. The characters are all very well realized. The action is a lot of fun. And, like, I could definitely watch this show over and over again. Just these 8 episodes, I can just watch them over and over again. They're very rewatchable. Now I want to know from you guys, if you have Netflix and you've had the chance to watch Stranger Things, what did you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. Who's your favorite character on the show? Mine is Dustin. Dustin is the coolest kid ever. And he's also toothless. But he owns it. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel and check out my social medias in the info box. I'm John Maffio, aka MaffmanJones, and I'll see you guys next time.